What's up, everybody? Outside the squared circle, back at it again. I'm Frank. That's Dennis. We're going to have a little quick post-fight overview of Canelo versus Chavez Jr. I don't think there's very much to say. I will say, before I toss it to Dennis, this fight underwhelmed. It underwhelmed. I did see, the only thing that bothered me, and I'll elaborate a little bit later, was that, I'm seeing people blame Canelo for this, which is really weird. He clearly came to fight. And two, I've been seeing the fight was fixed thing. Those bother me. I'll elaborate. Dennis, what were your thoughts on the fight?
Really, I always say the phrase, when you want to sell the steak, you want to sell the sizzle. That's what they did. They sold us the sizzle.
Yeah.
They made it. They waved the fan in the air and made it smell good. The rice was popping, and then they gave us a steak, and they opened up like voila! It was bologna.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
That was a great analogy.
I mean, I'm mad at Chavez. I'm gonna let my honest feelings come out. I'm mad at him because he didn't do enough. I know sometimes it's hard to pull a trigger because we've seen it before. We've seen like Vladimir with Tyson Fury the first time. He just couldn't pull the trigger. It happens. But I'm really mad that it didn't seem because for this reason. This is not the first time he's done this.
Right.
With Martinez, he couldn't pull the trigger, and then he just waited to the 12th round to fight. This time, we didn't even get a 12th round.
Yeah.
We didn't even get one hard round of Chavez saying, I'm going to try to knock him out of it because I'm losing every round, or I'm going to go all in. I don't know what his strategy was, or if there was some type of miscommunication, but I feel like this. Even if, let's say, Nacho Berenstein said the strategy is to keep distance, use the jab, and work him from the outside. If that was the strategy, right? After round 9, you've been obliterated and your eyes almost closed. Damn it! Fight! It isn't working.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Even if that is a strategy, at some point you can't buy into the system. You gotta go, sorry, this isn't working. I gotta go try to get this guy out of there. I gotta go fight, man. He's beating the hell out of me. This ain't working. So I am mad at him for not trying to try something else. I mean, you can't easily buy me off with I'm sorry, guys, I just couldn't do it tonight. My body wouldn't let me. When this is your second time having a fight like this.
Yeah.
If it was his first time, we could chalk it up to mystery illness. We could say anything, boo. Now you have a pattern, a track record of this.
Yeah.
And I'm not satisfied with this fight, man.
Yeah, I echoed the same thing as you, and honestly, it's the third time, because when he fought Fonfara, he fought scared. It was just that Fonfara was bigger than him, so he was able to knock him out. So you're right, it's a trend, Martinez, Fonfara, and now Canelo. My thing is, we knew going in, and me and you both alluded to this. You're always going to favor Canelo, because just skills pay the bills, but you gave Canelo a shot. Well, I don't say you as in you, I mean like you as the boxing fan. Yeah. We gave him a shot because he's going to be bigger. He can impose his size. And it bothered me that he didn't even try to impose his size. And I alluded to it in our prediction episode when I said, I do think he's going to try and fight tall at first, but as soon as he gets popped with something, he's going to go right back to the inside where he needs to be. And I predicted the first part right, but the second part didn't happen. So
he got popped.
Yeah.
You got that right.
So then my thing is, to me, it's one of two things. Did Canelo hurt him with something that discouraged him from coming in? Did Chavez just not care? Or was the game plan by Berenstein was the whole fight to, stand tall, try to throw your jab? With that said, he didn't even throw. I don't remember him throwing a jab. The one jab he did was in the fifth round, and he got pulled, countered, and his head almost got knocked into the stands. Right? So those I feel like are the three options. So what were they? Or maybe was it a combination of all three? But my thing is, I have a hard time believing, as great as Nacho is, that was the game plan for the whole fight. I felt like he wanted him to do that for the first maybe 4 or 5 rounds, and then once that second half popped in and they expected Canelo to get tired, that's when he wanted him to be a dog and get on the inside, but we didn't really see that, right? So before I pass it to you, the two things that I wanted to expand on was one, I don't understand people blaming Canelo. Well, he didn't go for the knockout. He didn't, he was part of the reason why the fight was boring too.
He did everything he was supposed to do.
He did everything he was supposed to do because that's the way Canelo fights. Canelo, he even when he's gotten knockouts, these are vicious. Like the Kirkland one was a vicious shot, and he was popping him all three rounds or 4 rounds, however long that went. Amir Khan, the same thing. It was a 1-punch shot, right? So he was doing the same thing to Chavez. Chavez is the bigger guy. You're not going to get him out of there like that. We all know Canelo fights that way. He's not going to press on the gas pedal if he doesn't have to. But even that being said,
his corner even told him, if you remember, his corner told him, be smart, you don't need the knockout. They
right,
told him that.
Right, exactly. And even with that being said, he's throwing bombs and landing them. So it's not like he was just jabbing and moving. He was still in there countering Chavez to death. Second part, the whole, the fight was fixed. Chavez, he was paid off. Now that's a bit much. Because just like you said, what has his track record showed us? Has his track record showed us any different than this? I would understand if we'd never seen this before, or you know what I mean, or if this dude has been a monster and all of a sudden he finally gets in, with someone and that this is it, this is all we get. But my thing is, we knew this would happen if he didn't make it a inside fight, impose his size. He didn't have the skills to keep up with Canelo. And that's exactly what he tried to do. So I've been seeing this a lot on Facebook, and I've actually commented and replied to people, and I'm like, no. Because this one guy said something like, I know a fixed fight when I see one, and that's what I saw. And I commented, I was like, no, what you saw was someone who clearly got hurt early and was petrified of getting countered. And that's why he wasn't letting his hands go. And I'm going to try and I put up the GIF on our Instagram, shameless plug here, at Outside the Squared Circle. This is the one jab that I 100% remember, and this is what happened to him. Okay? Now I'm going to try and get it. I'm going to try and get it on the screen, but look at this. Jab, pull, counter. Quick. It's the opposite. It looked like the left hand on screen, but that's going to happen. When you try to finally throw your jab and you get hit with this, you're not throwing your jab no more. That's exactly what Floyd does to his opponent. That's what Floyd did to Oscar. When Oscar had success with that jab, he started throwing out the pull counter. Ali did it back in the day. That was one of his favorite punches. You know what I mean? Canelo now does it. When you throw the jab and you're coming back with the straight right, I'm sorry. I'm not throwing my jab any longer. I'm going to try a different way to get inside. Right? He was clearly hurt.
Understood. The only thing we was mad about was, why didn't Chavez show up?
Exactly.
Chavez that said, you know what, I'm going to try to make this a fight.
Exactly.
We're not mad at him for the jab. We mad. At some point, Chavez should have came out and did what Chavez is good at.
Right.
And that's what we're upset about.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly where I was going to take it. The part that we're mad at, not that we think the fight is fixed, it's that at least go out on your shield. I'm not asking you to go out there and take unnecessary punishment, but the last 2 rounds, fuck it. Go for it. Just go right in. What's the difference between losing 120 to 108 or getting knocked TKO'd in the 11th? You might as well go for it because you're not going to win these next 2 rounds. You might as well try to win. That's what bothers me. You know what I mean? Even
if he does win the 2 rounds by boxing, what does that do?
Exactly.
At this point.
Right. Let's say he's throwing the jab, he's connecting, lands a few good body shots. What the hell does that do? Now it's 118 to 110. What's the difference? You just lost. You know what I mean? So I get you. I know we're both upset about that. So, I mean, really, that's all I have for the fight. We don't even have to express what do we think is next, because we know what's next. And I do want to preface and say, I didn't call it per se, but I did say, and you agreed, you expounded on it as well on the last episode, was where else can Canelo go from here? He can't really fight anyone else to delay the Triple G fight, right? And sure enough, the rumors were happening like 2 hours before the fight, and I was going to tell you, but I was like, nah, these sources don't seem legit. They just didn't, but they were right. They were true. Right. They said that the fight has been made for a couple weeks now. They're going to announce it when Canelo wins. Sure enough, we got Triple G Canelo. If you guys are hoping for predictions, you're not going to get them from either of us today. I'm sorry. It's just too close of a fight to me. I will say it is a 50-50 fight as of now. 2 years ago, I would have heavily favored Triple G. And it has nothing to do with how Triple G has looked the last 2 fights. Because if you guys listened to our last episode, I did say Danny Jacobs is just that good. He's a bad dude. He can fight. Kell Brook posed problems, but he was too small, right? It has more so to do with what Canelo has progressed immensely since that Floyd fight. It is incredible how much better Canelo has gotten in this sport. What are your thoughts on the fight?
I'm excited right now. I'm just excited. And that's not much I can say besides the fact that it's a 50-50 fight at this point. Maybe later on I look at some fights, I come up with some type of analogy, or some type of analysis that I can see it pulling for one guy more than the other.
Yeah.
Right now it's 50-50. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to, other than that, I'm excited to see it. I'm glad that this fight got made. And I'm glad that it got made now instead of 2 years from now.
Yeah.
When one guy's maybe too old or another guy's suffered another loss or something like that. This needs to happen when it's supposed to happen. And now is when it's supposed to happen because, we have people saying maybe Triple G is starting to age because of the fight with Danny Jacobs. So we talked about the fact that when you fight somebody elite, when you fight somebody just as good as you is, doesn't mean that anything's wrong with you. Doesn't mean that you're falling off. Just fought somebody really that's a very good fighter.
Right.
And that's what we seen. So I don't think that Triple G's aged in the last 2 years that fast. I personally don't think so. I just think he ran into a guy that wanted it just as much as he did.
Right.
And it's the same thing we're going to see with Canelo. If he loses to Canelo, I guarantee you we will hear, oh, see, we knew it. Golovkin's like 36 now. Canelo waited him out. That's why he waited for the title, and he waited. You know what I mean? He gave the title, and he waited for this.
Yeah.
We'll hear all of this. No, none of that's true. You just have a fighter that was more prepared, or whatever he did that'll lead him to winning that fight.
Yeah.
I believe right now is the time. Both of them are in their primes, which it should be a great fight.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? This Canelo just in general is starting to remind on message boards and stuff. He's starting to remind me of Floyd Mayweather, because they would do the same thing to Floyd. I remember before Floyd fought Canelo. Oh, he'll never fight Canelo. He's too big. He's young. He's strong. He's in his prime. As soon as the fight gets made, oh, he's too green. Why would they make this one? Yeah.
He said, after me, there will be somebody else, and they'll blow him up, and he'll get the same thing.
Yeah, and this is him. And this is him.
It's happening.
This is him. And then now, we've seen it for 2 years, even up to this fight. Oh, he's gonna fight Lemieux next. He's gonna fight, so-and-so at 160. He might even go back down to 154. And then as soon as the fight gets made, I'm seeing all these threads on the sites that I like to go to, and they're, oh, he waited him out. He's old already. He saw him digress. And I'm thinking, what? This is my thing. And this is a disclaimer, because there's literally no bias here. Dennis can say these are my 2 favorite fighters in the sport. If I had to rank 1 and 2, it'd be Canelo and Triple G. I love those guys. And then Ward and Kovalev would probably be my 3 and 4. That's besides the point. I think this was the perfect time to make it. I think 2 years ago, Canelo wasn't ready yet. Even though he probably had the better resume, he just wasn't physically there yet. Yeah, he was a big dude, but he could still make 154 then. I don't think he can now. I don't think he can make 155 now. I think he realized how much easier it was to make 164, and then how much easier it's going to make to 160. And he's still going to be a big guy. He's still going to rehydrate to like 172 to 175, so it's not like he's a small middleweight. He's a comparable middleweight to a lot of them guys. So, you know what I mean? He's ready. He's had a few more fights. Triple G, there seems to be a bit more of a game plan to beat him. He's not looking like the unstoppable. He's still dangerous, clear as day. You know what I mean? But I think right now was the perfect time to make it. I think from a marketing standpoint, they let it marinate, right? Everyone's still excited about it. But now Canelo, to me, has a real shot. Whereas in 2015, I think Canelo gets knocked out. I don't know if you agree or not, but I just felt like in 2015, he wasn't ready for that yet.
You know what? Just back to what I said. This fight is happening when this is supposed to happen.
Yep.
Canelo is stepped up in weight. He did what he wanted to do, was test his weight by fighting a bigger guy, fighting up in weight, and then fight Triple G. He took the right steps when you're supposed to fight a bigger guy. He didn't pull a Kell Brook. He didn't pull a Amir Khan. He didn't just jump up in weight. He took his time when he grew out, and then took a bigger fighter at a weight and tested himself. He did it the right way, and this is how he's supposed to do it. And Triple G is there. He's waiting on him, and whatever happens, I feel if Triple G wins, they'll fight a rematch. if Triple G loses, I feel like Canelo will move on. I don't know. I feel like he will move on if Triple G loses. But I feel like if Triple G wins, and they'll do it. And this is why, because of Canelo being the star power.
Yeah.
I feel like if he loses, he'll demand a rematch. Golovkin to get more money, and he'll take that deal, and they'll fight again. But if Canelo wins, he'll say, "Hey, I told you, Triple G, you can do what you want. I'm moving on to somebody else."
Yeah.
And that's not a prediction. That's just simply what I think. If he win. That's what I say.
I think that's fair, but just to play devil's advocate, let's say Canelo wins, and just because we both think it's 50-50, let's say it's like a split decision, right? 115, 113 on two. So let's say it's a very close fight. If this fight's going to make both of them a lot of money, where would Canelo go from here to make that kind of money again? Who at 160 could he fight? You know what I mean? To make that. So I feel like,
that type of money?
Yeah, to make. I mean, Canelo's going to get paid.
He can fight anybody else, honestly.
Right.
I don't know if he can fight anybody else to make Triple G money.
Right.
I think he does what Canelo does because he has a country behind him. He fights somebody and he does well, but the fight is not as well as it would have been if it was Triple G.
Right.
And to another name, it's going to have like Jermell Charlo will have to emerge as a superstar within 160 because he just moved up.
That would be a good fucking fight.
That's what I think will have to happen. He will have to let that fight grow.
Yeah.
Canelo will have to fight a couple of Lemieux and Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I mean? He will have to take a couple of those fights, and then let the Jermall Charlo fight grow to this big thing where it can become big money.
I could see that. Hey, I'll tell you the fighter. I don't see him fighting anytime soon at 160, and it's not a knock to Canelo. I just think stylistically it's not very good. Is Danny Jacobs? That is not. I don't think they would make that fight
I
next.
don't think he's gonna fight.
No,
I think he's gonna. I'm not saying he's gonna dunk him, but I think he's gonna rightfully say, if he beats Golovkin, I think he's gonna say, "You lost to Golovkin. I beat Golovkin. Let's keep him."
And I think
keep it moving.
No, I agree. The one thing I will say though is, if Danny Jacobs earns that, like undeniably, I do think Canelo would fight him. But I don't think it would be. I mean, because he did the same thing with Lara. Lara was one of those guys that I was like, keep Canelo as far away as you can until the fight has to be made. You know what I mean? Like Lara's just whooping everybody, and now it's time. I think they can do that with Jacobs. They can do that with Jamal Charlo, like you said. But I think, if there's no rematch, I would say probably Lemieux would be next after that, because if Canelo can handle Triple G's power, even though I do think Lemieux, just based on one shot power, might have more power, but he's a little bit more basic of a fighter than Golovkin is. So I think that would be the logical next step. Probably a soft touch, and then Lemieux. But I still think I could still see a soft touch and then them rematching in September, no matter who wins. Golovkin and Canelo. It's just gonna make too much money, especially if it was competitive.
I mean, I gotta say this: Canelo being at 160 is exciting now because he gets to fight those guys.
Yeah,
it's exciting now. Golovkin could potentially go up if Golovkin wins. He's gonna. If Golovkin wins, if they don't fight a rematch, he's gonna move up.
Yeah, and
he's gonna deal with the Gilberto and Ramirez guys. You know what I mean? Those guys.
Right.
So and then Canelo's still gonna be there, and then Canelo's still. And you know what? This is the thing. Even if Canelo loses, I don't think it hurts because I still want to see Canelo Lemieux. Yeah. I still want Canelo Billy Joe Saunders. I still see Canelo Danny Jacobs, Canelo Jermell Charlo. I still want those fights.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it hurts. I don't think it hurts him if he loses. I think he realizes that.
Yeah, I think the only way this hurts him is if he gets obliterated in a couple rounds, or he quits, or like something drastic happens. But I mean, that's the thing. And for as much as we like Floyd Mayweather, I mean he's the best fighter of his generation, top 25, top 15, however you want to rank him. He's incredible. But that was the one thing I think he did do bad for boxing, was the whole keep the O thing. Because since I was a kid watching Mike Tyson lost. I love watching Mike Tyson when I was a kid. Oscar De La Hoya lost. Yeah, going back before, Tommy Hearns, the guys from the 80s, Duran, Leonard, these guys lost. That happens. People, and that's why it's a big thing when someone goes their whole career undefeated. Joe Calzaghe, Floyd Mayweather, Rocky Marciano. That's tough to do. It doesn't happen. It's a beautiful mix of skill and good matchmaking. I'm not saying, you know what I mean, like it's one or the other, but it's definitely a good mix of them because even the greatest of the greats have lost before. So with that being said, just like you said, if Canelo loses, he don't lose marketability. Oscar lost a lot of his big fights, and we all still were paying for the next pay-per-view. You know what I mean? He lost to Mosley twice.
The big names.
Right.
That's all Canelo has to do is continue to fight the big names.
Right, 100%. So before we wrap it up, this was a quicker one. I think this is going to come out to 20, 25 minutes. Do we want to see Chavez again? I'll quick answer, no, I don't. Do you want to see Chavez again?
He's on my... I'm going to tell you, he's on my Victor Ortiz list. It's a small list. Just growing.
Ortiz and
one person out of two. Victor Ortiz and Chavez. I'm not seeing these guys fight. I don't know if it's going to grow to three this year, but there's two people on that list so far.
Yeah, that's my list as well. And you know why it's my list, though, is because, well, Victor Ortiz, for one, is because he fooled me one too many times. I've bought into every one of his comebacks. Two, it's because Chavez fooled me this time. I'm not going to lie. I thought Martinez was going to beat him. I actually picked Fanfara to beat him. I don't know if we made an episode or if we even had a podcast yet, but I picked Fanfara to win. And I did pick Canelo to win, but I expected him to show up. Like, he didn't even show up. That's what...
Right.
All he had to do was just be there.
You got to look at this. Every fight that he's fought a name guy, Martinez didn't show up. Fanfara, he quit.
Yeah.
He quit.
Yeah.
Canelo didn't show up. So now it's like I don't get what else can I want to see from you? Because
and even
if they just give you another big name, either you're gonna quit or don't show up. That's
right.
how I feel.
And even so those three are great examples, but we could even look further. What he did against Brian Vera, he didn't make weight, had the weight change 2 days beforehand.
Right.
And he still should have lost both of those damn fights. He
should have lost the first Brian Vera.
Yeah.
He should have lost the first one.
Yeah, I mean, he's had this. He missed weight for another fight, and I can't think off the top. And we're ending it, so I don't want to sit here and Google it. But I know he missed weight again for a fight, and he's just not dedicated. So, hey, I'm right there. I love the Victor Ortiz list, 1 and 2. Though that's our list so far. We agree. Those are two that we could care less if we see them again or not.
And I was still more loving towards Victor Ortiz. I was giving him one last chance.
Yeah.
Against Brandon Rios, and he backed out of the Brandon Rios fight. Yeah. I was like, dude, go away. Go away. I'm
Yeah. No, for sure. So, hey, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. Like us on Instagram. You could even add me and Dennis on Facebook. We're accessible that way as well. So however you want to contact us, let us know what you think. Remember to share this with other boxing fans. Share it to boxing groups on Facebook. However it is that you can help us get our name out there. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.